exactly is the appeal that makes black metal attract so many people that want to make solo project endeavors? In any genre of music, there are always going to be a ton of fantastic solo projects, no matter what you are talking about, and metal is no exception. Every single metal subgenre has solo artists that are innovating, that are trying to make fun music, that are doing all of the stuff themselves, but there seems to be such a statistical disproportionate amount of solo black metal projects compared to every other genre, which more often than not are going to constitute bands more than anything else. If you're looking at death metal and slam metal and grindcore and metalcore, it's going to be really rare to find a popular or underground solo project that's making waves, whereas it feels like every other black metal project that is worth talking about that isn't from an established band already are coming from one sole person. Someone masterminding everything, the percussion, the riffs, the lyricism, the vocals, producing all of their stuff themselves. So what is it about black metal that makes people gravitate towards that and have such a massive amount of great solo projects? And that is in no way to discredit the vast array of black metal projects that have more than one member and have made fantastic music. I'm talking 1349, Behemoth, Darkthrone, Immortal, Emperor, Dimmu Borgir. All of those bands are fantastic in their own right, but I'm specifically shining a light on these solo projects. And it's not even something that is just in the underground. It's not just the people that are dwelling in the places you don't usually see. Burzum was a solo black metal project, Xasthur's a solo black metal project, and that's not even getting into projects like Saor, which is fantastic, Kehkt Arakh, or even a project like Leviathan. At face value, it shouldn't be anything to do with the music, because the instrumentation that they are bringing into the fold are the same things that other metal genres use, so I don't think you can necessarily chalk it up to it being like a different approach, because you're still doing percussion and riffs and vocals and production, and that's present in all of the other genres that are mostly dominated by bands. I think it much more comes down to the general atmosphere and community of black metal. It's usually prided itself in many ways on pushing people away and not wanting people to taint the reputation of it, and most of the time, but not always, the underground black metal projects that are solo come from a place of not necessarily trusting people with your music or trusting a band, or alternatively choosing to work on something by your lonesome, because black metal, especially if you're talking some of the more cynical and nihilistic or mentally deranged sort of black metal that's talking about like the human condition and it's very dark, especially with like DSBM and stuff, most of these artists are troubled in a sense and don't necessarily want to work with anyone else. There's sort of this personal attitude that gets attached to solo black metal, as you can look at it and say that if you enjoy that person's work, it literally is coming straight from their heart, their soul, their psyche. You can't chalk it up to being a joint process, because it is literally solely coming from one person's mind. They're masterminding everything, and there is something very talented about that. Two other quick reasons that I want to say is, number one, quality control. Black metal is a lot of times very obsessed with being low fidelity and underground and true cult, and handling all of the stuff yourself and making it very raw and primitive is going to sort of contribute to feeling true cult and feeling evil and black incantation like. And the other thing would be, black metal isn't really that concerned with being pretty or touched up. Obviously it depends on if you're talking about other projects in the atmospheric or symphonic lane, which obviously have their great solo projects either, but if we're talking just solo black metal, true blue black fire black metal music, it kind of doesn't matter to have to live up to any sort of criteria or quota, and if anything, being on your own and not necessarily being that experienced in production, or alternatively intentionally trying to make your production sound very cold. If you look at like a project like Paysage d'Hiver, all of it can kind of accumulate in this outsider culture that black metal has built a bubble around itself with. Black metal musicians, just as a generalization, are usually going through some shit, have gone through some shit, and they put that into their music, and so the cold and unwelcoming sort of vibe that black metal, especially if you're not talking about symphonic or theatrical atmospheric black metal music, the mist that surrounds it is just amplified when it's all masterminded by one person pouring their soul into making a very raw project. And the critical acclaim that is usually given to the DIY aesthetic of black metal is another reason that it's easy for one person to be the one to make all of it. Even death metal music, that it can be very like OSDM inspired and subterranean, there still is a way of making it bassy and well produced and crisp. Black metal doesn't really abide by that, and it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but you don't really have to worry about production or making it clean or polished or living up to anything. It can truly be as raw and as cold and wintry as possible, and it's probably going to get more acclaim than if it wasn't. What are your guys' opinions of this topic? Why do you think there are so many black metal solo projects, and do you like black metal that is solo, or do you not? You can let me know down in the comment section below. I can't wait to hear your opinions on this topic. Agree or disagree, there is no wrong answer. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is, my name is Dream Morris, and I'm signing off saying farewell.